was me. How are you? I was a fat little guy, wasn't I?
You're so cute.
And this is my mother and Annie.
Mm-hmm. That's a cute picture.
Yeah. I don't know which one's which. And that's their folks again. That's when they first got married.
Mm-hmm.
That's Mom and Annie and George, the guy on the little baby on that picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I don't know who that is in the background. Oh, that's their mother. That's Mildred in the background. That was taken up at Drennan. That, I know right where that was taken, because they lived there. There was that windmill.
Mm-hmm.
That windmill was made out of wood. That was the original Enoch homestead.
What is that?
Well, that's when they came from Kansas and you found you a piece of ground and you had to live on it 3 years and improve on it, and then you got it.
Oh, I was just
That's
sure.
this
buildings
place
and
was the
stuff.
same way.
Really? Oh, cool.
This is
Her
a homestead
granddad
place.
did the same thing here.
What is it called?
Homesteading.
No, the Enoch?
Oh, Enoch, yeah. Just like Enoch Road up there. You seen Enoch Road up north?
A lot of people call it Enoch.
E-N-O-C-H. Oh, that's all my cousins in Oklahoma.
You've been all over the place, huh?
This is my dad's sister's and her husband. And then, yeah, there's 4 boys. 1, 2, I don't know who Joe is, but 1, 2, 3, 4. They each had the same kind of kids. Dad had 4 boys and 2 girls, and his sister had 4 boys and 2 girls. It was weird, but the girls were the oldest on the age.
Oh, so it's like reversed.
Yeah, the 2 girls were the oldest, and then 4 boys.
Mm.
And that was, I met him once, twice. And one of these boys is, did one of the boys die? One of them did, Fred, didn't he? One of Elsie's boys? Whichever one's Fred. That one, he died in there. And of course your uncle, he's gone. Anyway, that's Mom. That's my brothers. We all got big hats. I wasn't home. I was graduating high school.
And which one is one of your sisters?
That's Patty.
Patty.
Francis and I are older. See, there's a skip between us. There's 2 years skip between Francis and that one.
Okay. She kind of looks like Remington in that picture.
Yeah, she had dark hair.
Like her facial features kind of look.
Yeah, a little.
Just in that picture, maybe.
That was my dad's cousin and his uncle. And they had come across a litter of coyote pups
Aww.
way back in the day.
How cute.
Was that you? No? It's in our... Was it? It's in
Back
our...
when I dressed like Nancy Taylor.
That was in our house. That old table's downstairs.
Yeah.
That's when we first got married.
Is that in Fountain?
No, it was in my folks' house.
Oh, okay.
Then 3 windows
Oh,
on
yeah.
the west side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And that table's downstairs. I still got it.
Grandma, you're so cute. Look at you.
Why, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's his old. That he was married to my grandmother's sister. And these are my mother's cousins.
Mm-hmm.
They're all gone. Enoch was the original family name. They were from the same place in Kansas that her folks were from. They all came out during the Homestead days in 1911.
So are you doing Enoch history or day history?
Sinclair.
Oh.
Right now, that's
So
where
how
they
does
started.
Sinclair
doing
get
it.
to Enoch?
Well, Sinclair married Enoch.
Okay.
Sinclair and Mildred was Enoch.
Here's a Sinclair.
And that's my mother's brother and younger brother and his wife. She's still living with his mom. And this is Tom and Annie again. The little girl. Must be one of theirs. I think it must be one of their granddaughters. That was Orton Hanover School. And this is three of my grandmother's sisters and one of her brothers. They were still live. They're all gone. That is. You've heard of Dimmer's? Okay, well she was married to, she lived here. And then she was married to Henderson and she was married. Now, this lady was married to her mother's cousin. And she is my grandmother's sister. So therefore we're related by marriage.
That's weird.
We are?
Well, her husband was a first cousin to her mother. And then my mother's sister married her mother's brother. So then we are second cousins.
Keeping it in the band.
We're second cousins. And now there's one more. Who else is? Oh, there's three. You and I, your mom, and yeah. So anyway, along with being I'm her husband, I'm also her second cousin. By marriage.
Okay, so who did Robert Edward Sinclair, who did he marry that wasn't
Mildred Enoch.
okay.
She was the older sister. Oldest, there was 5 girls and 3 boys. And the 3 oldest ones died kind of young. Well, no, Aunt Clara was pretty old. But she was gone by this picture. These was the only 4 left. They're all gone now. That's how the Enochs and the Sinclairs got together. Because they homesteaded half a mile apart. People didn't go very far back then, did they?
No.
Was it like you marrying Bradley from New York?
Enoch is spelled with an E or an I?
How did I spell it?
E-N-O-C-H.
Yeah, E-N-O-C-H. Okay, yeah, there's one more. There's one more. This lady is a sister to this lady's husband. And she was married to my grandmother's brother. So she's a cousin to her mother. And she's also, by marriage, a great uncle or great aunt to me. She was my great aunt because she was my mother's aunt. So she's by marriage. And by blood, she's a second cousin to mom. So that makes our kids what?
Well, I have no idea.
It's
Their own
crazy.
grandpa.
So I can say I'm my own grandpa.
Yeah.
And that's George Sinclair. I told you that's his oldest boy. He's dead. He was just older than I am. Had a heart attack.
Tact.
Heart attack. And my younger brother, who is gone, Richard. You didn't know him. Yeah.
I didn't. Well, I was.
He was born in
little.
'90, so he was only 2 years old. And I don't know who them people are. Funny looking people. Skinny. Look how skinny they
Oh
are.
yeah, who is that?
There's your mom. That's your
Her
mother.
blonde hair.
That's your little bitty mother. She was a
What are you
tiny,
guys doing here this day?
was a school reunion or something. She was the tiniest little thing. Tiny, tiny little girl.
3rd grade, she was still wearing
Yeah.
her.
She was
baby
probably in about the
dresses.
3rd grade there.
size 3 baby dresses she was still wearing in
She
3rd
was so
grade.
little.
Teresa is so tall too, so it just makes her look even smaller.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Teresa was so thin and tall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my
Tiny,
brother
tiny
Richard.
little girl.
You probably remember.
That's a cute picture.
That's what it said. And this is, who is this? I don't see. I don't either. If you had to figure out what it is, I don't know. Mom didn't write on her pictures. I don't know who all them kids are either. I don't know who they are.
February 58.
There's one that says September 1960, and that was my dad and my 3 brothers, and that was my dog. That was my dog. George Baker gave me that dog when I was in the 2nd grade,
Yeah?
and that dog lived till I was 22 years old.
What dog is it?
Just a mutt. You got really, and he got snake bit one time right there. They had a load of picnic tables. I don't know what they were doing. It didn't say.
Why did he give you the dog? Just because?
Because I was a neighbor kid. I used to live next door. I don't know what some of these is. Mom didn't write on them. I don't know what they are.
A lot of kids in that picture.
Yeah. That was probably in April of '57. She didn't write nothing on the back. I don't know when it was. A lot of snow. After I left home, she never had a color picture camera when I was at home. There's the barns and stuff at home.
Is that your parents' house?
Their house is right there behind that tree. That's the barn, the dairy barn where we milk cows.
Mm-hmm.
The granary. I don't know who all these folks is. I don't have a clue. She didn't write nothing. That's my brother's drilling water wells. Freddie's the one on the field and Miss Richard. Thank you.
Who's that? Do you know who that is?
I don't know who it is. It's got something written on it, but I don't know who it is.
Take it in on your. How cute.
This is my grandparents and my uncle, their oldest boy.
What are their names?
Robert Edward Sinclair,
Mm-hmm.
George Edward Sinclair, and her was Mildred Enoch. I don't know what her middle name was.
So one more time. What is his name? Is that his name?
George, Robert, Edward Robert Sinclair.
Sinclair.
He was born. Edward Robert Sinclair was born April the 16th, 1873, in Springdale, Kansas. See, he was the 4th kid of that. Asa Sinclair is the one we looked up. He was born in 1843 in Clinton, Ohio. October 19th, 1843 in Clinton, Ohio. His wife was I don't know what her maiden name was. Mary Ann Sinclair. Born March the 5th, 1849 in Dayton, Ohio.
March 5th.
They were married May the 31st, 1868 in Washburn, Indiana. Wabash, Indiana. 10 kids.
A lot of kids.
That was after Civil War, after he come back from Civil War in 65. Then he married her in 68. Look at her. This is all their kids. Alonzo, Rosa, Willard, Edward, which is my granddad, Webster, Sarah, Franklin, Mary, Ella, and Charles.
Do you know who wrote all this on the back?
I have no clue. I don't even know who that is. That's one of them, probably.
Can I take a picture of the back of it?
Yeah. This one, Charles, he disappeared. He left home. They lived up in Eastonville. You know where Eastonville is? Not very far from east of where you live. It was Eastonville. It used to be a town there. It's not now. There's just a road, Eastonville Road. He
Oh
disappeared.
yeah, I know what road that is. I live off of Del Rio in Eastonville.
Yeah, Eastonville
Okay.
was the old road, and it used to be a town of Eastonville, just a little further east of Falcon.
Okay.
He left home at 16 years old and was never heard from again.
That's crazy.
That was the youngest one. They figured he got hijacked somewhere out on the plains and left for dead, you know, or
Yeah.
died, killed. So
August 1st.
he was never saw again. 1885. So when he was 16, it would have been about 1900.
Here's our ancestry.com account.
Well,
To
did you
take
get your
with you.
answers yet back yet?
No, but you can get on here and do the tree on there.
Oh, cool. Okay. You said.
This one, he was a Pinkerton detective.
What's Pinkerton?
Oh, it's a private detective company that got started way back in the 1870s.
Oh,
He was Pinkerton detective. he lived in Lyman. Yeah. I didn't know any of them. I didn't even know my granddad. He died 4 days after I was born.
no.
Anyway.
Oh, can I take a picture of the back?
Oh, yeah. That's her mother. Some of these, I don't know who they are.
His cousin?
Oh, yeah, that's Finn. Some of these are yours, too.
Yeah, I would put them all in the same safe.
That's my grandmother when she was a kid. This goes with it.
Ready to smoke it?
No, then some of her sisters. Yeah, that was her younger sisters.
What's it? Beta?
And Fern.
Fern? Oh, I love that. How cute.
Beta sitting down and Fern standing up, I think. They were real close together in age. One of them was the youngest. She just died here not too long.
Huh?
This is her aunt. That's her grandma Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
That's her sister.
Oh. She's really pretty.
Looks like mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's her sister.
She looks like she'd be sassy.
She was a sassy little girl.
Like she just looks what is that word? Mischievous.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
See you in that picture, did you see? I just wanted to put
Yeah,
yours together.
Uncle Willard and Aunt Mabel.
Yeah. Some of them I don't know.
TROUD. 14,
1918.
1918, is that what it is? Right?
Yeah, it's 1918.
Does it say anything in the text of it?
Oh.
He's so cute though. Looks like a little devil.
And that's her great grandmother.
Mm-hmm. Granny. She also looks like a wild one.
Same picture. I think this is her brother. Yeah, it's her brother. He got killed by lightning. And she married us.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How
He was
cute.
a preacher.
Hmm.
Later life. She married us. Yeah, Lois. He married us when we got married, and he got killed by lightning when he was really young. They had one daughter, and she died a little bit. Oh, that's her. That's Jeannie's brother, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my mother's sister, Annie.
Oh.
She's still living. She's in a nursing home in Canyon City. Her mother's brother married my mother's sister.
Keeping it together.
Their kids were both of our cousins.
Yeah.
They have two kids, boy and girl. Oh, I don't know what all I've got. That's Annie again. Oh, these were Mom's pictures. Rachel. I don't know who Rachel was. Some other relative. And that's Grandpa Sinclair. That picture was
So
taken.
that'd be your grandpa?
Yeah, that's the same one as that other one.
Mm-hmm.
But that picture was taken in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Nobody knows who that girl is. He was in Rock Springs, Wyoming after he come back from the Cuban War. He never got to the war. He come back before he got there. Nobody knows who that is. It just that's a E. Sayer, S-A-U something, picture studio, I suppose, Rock Springs, Wyoming. Mom never knew who it was.
So
But
this
the
is
word,
like your mom's side of the family, right?
yeah, that's the Sinclair, the
Okay.
Asa Sinclair, this is his son.
Okay.
Mom said that the word was he had another family when he lived in Rock Springs, and they died from smallpox. The whole family, all but him. We don't know that. He never told nothing.
Never knew.
But I don't know anything back behind Asa Sinclair. I don't have any pictures. Anything. I don't even think there's even a picture of Asa Sinclair.
Besides that one we found.
No, there's no pictures. Yeah, the one you found on the thing. Yeah, that was it. That's the only one I knew ever existed. Yeah. I don't know of any others. I think that's a Kenny.
One of these ones right here.
I don't know. I'll look and see. Oh, that's Dave. And your grandma.
No. She looks like my mom. And Teresa. She looks like all of them.
Mm-hmm. Better put those back over there. We get them all mixed up. She'll holler at me. Oh yeah, that's the kids that are both our cousins.
Mm, okay.
Somewhere, I don't know if we laid it out, I took a selfie
Mm-hmm.
of the three of us way back in the 1960s.
1960s.
I was the first selfie ever took with a camera, and it's perfect. Centered and everything.
Perfect selfie.
I forget how we did it. She wasn't in it, but it was him and Nita and I.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nita was in the middle. No, I was in the middle and they were on each side. I don't know, I'd have to see it again. She's still alive. She's still doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Usually a neat guy.
What happened to those two?
Hmm?
What happened?
Oh, that's his old. He was married to my grandmother's sister. And these are my mother's cousins.
Mm.
They're all gone. Enoch was the original family name. They were from the same place in Kansas that her folks were from. They all came out during the Homestead days in 1911.
So are you doing Enoch history or day history?
Sinclair.
Oh.
Right now, that's because that's
So
where
how
we
does
started.
Sinclair
the other
get
day.
to Enoch?
Well, Sinclair married Enoch.
Okay.
Sinclair and Mildred was Enoch.
Here's a Sinclair.
And that's my mother's brother and younger brother and his wife. She's still living with his mom. And this is Tom and Annie again. The little girl. Must be one of theirs. That ain't theirs. That must be one of their granddaughters. That was over at Hanover School. And this is three of my grandmother's sisters and one of her brothers. They were still live. They're all gone now. That is. You heard of Dimlers?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well she was married to, she lived here. And then she was married to Henderson and she was married. Now, this lady was married to her mother's cousin. And she is my grandmother's sister.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore we're related by marriage.
That's weird.
We are?
Well, her husband was a first cousin to her mother. And then my mother's sister married her mother's brother. So then we are second cousins.
Keeping it in the band.
We're second cousins. And now there's one more. Who else is? Oh, there's three. You and I, your mom, and yeah. So anyway, along with being I'm her husband, I'm also her second cousin. By marriage.
Okay, so who did Robert Edward Sinclair, who did he marry that was an
Mildred Enoch.
okay.
She was the older sister. Oldest, there was 5 girls and 3 boys. And the 3 oldest ones died kind of young. Well, no, Aunt Clara was pretty old. But she was gone by this picture. These was the only 4 left. They're all gone now. That's how the Enochs and the Sinclairs got together. Because they homesteaded a half a mile apart. People didn't go very far back then, did they?
No.
Was it like you marrying Bradley from New York?
Enoch is spelled with an E or an I?
How did I spell it?
E-N-O-C-H.
Yeah, E-N-O-C-H. Okay, yeah, there's one more. There's one more. This lady is a sister to this lady's husband. And she was married to my grandmother's brother. So she's a cousin to her mother.
Uh-huh.
And she's also, by marriage, a great uncle or great aunt to me.
Let me see.
She was my great aunt because she was my mother's aunt.
Mm-hmm.
So she's by marriage. And by blood, she's second cousin to mom. So that makes our kids what?
Well, I have no idea.
It's
Their own
crazy.
grandpa.
So I can say I'm my own grandpa.
Yeah.
And that's George Sinclair. I told you that's his oldest boy. He's dead now. He was just older than I am. Had a heart attack.
Tact.
Had a heart attack. And my younger brother, who is gone, Richard. You didn't know him. Yeah,
I didn't. Well, I was.
he was born in
little.
'90, so he was only 2 years old. And I don't know who them people are. Funny looking people. Skinny. Look how skinny they
Oh
are.
yeah, who is that?
There's your mom. That's your
Her
mother.
blonde hair.
Mm-hmm. That's your little bitty mother. She was a
What are you
tiny,
guys doing here this day?
was a school reunion or something. She was the tiniest little thing.
Mhm.
Tiny, tiny little girl.
3rd grade, she was still wearing
Yeah.
her
She was
baby
probably in about the
dresses.
3rd grade there.
Size 3 baby dresses she was still wearing in
She
3rd
was so
grade.
little.
Teresa's so tall too, so it just makes her look even smaller.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Teresa was so thin and tall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my
Tiny,
brother
tiny
Richard.
little girl.
You probably remember.
That's a cute picture.
That's it. And this is, who is this? I don't see. I don't usually. If you had to figure out what it is, I don't know. Mom didn't write on her pictures. I don't know who all them kids are either. I don't know who they are.
February 58.
Here's one that says September 1960, and that was my dad and my 3 brothers, and that was my dog. That was my dog. George Baker gave me that dog when I was in the 2nd grade,
Yeah?
and that dog lived till I was 22 years old.
What dog is it?
Just a mutt. He got really, and he got snake bit one time right there. They had a load of picnic tables. I don't know what they were doing, didn't say.
Why did he give you the dog? Just because?
Because I was a neighbor kid. I just lived next door. I don't know what some of these is. Mom didn't write on them. I don't know what they are.
A lot of kids in that picture.
Yeah. That was probably in April of '57. She didn't write nothing on the back of it. I don't know. A lot of snow. After I left home, she never had a color picture camera when I was at home. There's the barns and stuff at home.
Is that your parents' house?
Their house is right there behind that tree. That's the barn, the dairy barn where we milk cows.
Mm-hmm.
The granary. I don't know who all them folks is. I don't have a clue. She didn't write nothing. That's my brother's drilling water wells. Freddie's the one on the field and Miss Richard. Thank you.
Okay.
This is my dad and his sister. There's just the 2 of them in their family, and they were living with their grandparents because their mother died, and their father couldn't take care of him. So
So James
they-
Wesley is your great grandpa?
James Wesley. Yeah. And they had one son, and his name was Harry Albert. And he had one son, and his name was Fred H.
I mean, who's that then?
That's his grandmother.
Okay.
Her
What's her
name.
name?
Her name was Florence Downing. Let's just get on the other side. That's why I'd be interested to get this back. I don't know who they are. I have no idea. There's the same one again. Same one again. Does it say anything on the back? Nope.
What was your dad's sister's name?
Elsie. That's all I know is Elsie.
And what happened to her? Do you know? You don't know? You don't know what happened to her?
She's dead. She died a while back. Her husband died a long, long time ago, but she lived till 2004 or somewhere in there.
You're well back, 2004.
I don't know. Some of these I have no clue unless it's written on. These are my dad's pictures. Drake Studio, Ponca City, Oklahoma.
It's a cool picture.
There's a little kid there, probably my dad.
How did your dad end up here, like in Oklahoma?
Well, his mother's sister and her husband and her brothers came to Colorado and homesteaded in 1911. Some older ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a real crazy deal, you see. My mother's brother married my dad's cousin. That's how my dad met my mother.
Okay. Makes sense.
And they homesteaded up at Drennan,
Okay.
in that country.
Okay.
And then Dad and his family came out here, and his mother died. So his dad put him and his little sister, they were about that big. They were little. Put him in a covered wagon and went back to Oklahoma. And then my dad didn't come back out here till he come out here to see his uncles. His mother's brothers and sisters lived at Calhan, Ellicott, in that country, homesteaded. He came out to see them, and that's where he met my mother, because her brother was married to my dad's cousin. I don't know.
Do you know like what year your parents met?
Yeah, my mother was 16 years old. About 1938, 39. Her mother had died a couple of years before that from cancer. They got married in 1940. We stayed a road on the back of some because I don't have a clue who they are. These are my dad's pictures. I don't know who they are. I have no clue.
How long does
What?
it take to get this stuff back?
I don't know.
It said 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. If it don't say on the back, I don't have a clue. They didn't seem to write on the back of pictures. His grandmother, these were probably his grandmother's pictures. His mother didn't live long enough to take pictures. So I have no clue who they are. No. I haven't looked through them for a long, long time. On Baggett Road. That was where they had them coyote pups.
Mm-hmm.
That was right there.
Oh, okay.
Now that guy and that kid was Dad's first cousin.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was married to my grandmother's sister. And she died in childbirth. Died from having a baby. And the baby was okay. And they were at St. Francis Hospital in town, which is a Catholic hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened. Somehow, they couldn't get the baby. And the baby died too. There wasn't nothing wrong with it. His name was Florence. It would have been Dad's sister. What does it say in the back? Nothing?
It's a postcard.
I don't know. Here's another one. Postcard eating watermelon. Granny A. Day. I don't know. Somebody sent her that card, who that Granny A. Day is.
How long boxing gloves. How funny.
I don't know. Aunt Elsie. That was my dad's sister.
Little bonnet.
There's a cat. Two cats.
We like cats.
There's them guys in the cornfield again. Broom corn. Huh. That was my dad's cousin. That was the daughter of his mother's sister. She's gone now. There's some kid in Oklahoma, that's his daughter. This was that James Wesley Day's grave, I think. Can't read it, it just says Day on it. Aunt Minna. That was the sister of my dad's mother. I knew her, she lived there in town. They came from Germany. And when her last son died here a few years ago, Patty went in and cleaned out his house. He wasn't ever married. And there was a big old trunk. And in that trunk was all of these school books from 1900. And Patty says, wonder why they kept all these school books. And I said, well, they came from Germany in the 1890s. And they bought those books to learn English.
Oh, okay.
And I'm guessing that's what they did. Because one brother, older brother, he was real German-y sounded. I think that's Harry Albert Day. I think that was my dad's father. Okay. And he took care of Grandma Day back in Ponca City. Oh. So this lady took care of Grandpa Day, whoever that is. Okay. That was my folks at the Balanced Rock. Whoop! That one was no good. Throw it away.
Balance Rock, where's that at?
That's up in Garden Goss.
Oh, yeah.
That's the cemetery where they're buried. Here in Car Springs.
Is that the Memorial Park?
Memorial Garden. Or what is the name? Evergreen Cemetery.
Evergreen.
I can show you where they're at. And that's a coyote. And some kids behind it. Must have been a pet
She's
coyote.
been there with us because I remember one really rainy day she was with us and we went to the cemetery on Memorial Day. Do you remember that? We went and had pizza afterwards.
This was Uncle Kelly's dog killing a rattlesnake at the Rice place. That's up in Drennan. It was a snake killing dog.
My dog was just run away. It's that same lady again.
Annie Chaplin and son. Oh, that's the woman that took care of Grandma.
There's the same picture.
Yeah, same one, same people. Well,
All dressed so nicely.
we didn't learn much out of that deal, did we?
No, it's okay.
What did I get in there? Oh, this sack.
There's some old-timey pictures in that box over here.
What box?
In the red box.
The
Oh,
red
yeah.
and white box. We didn't go through these yet. Can we do that?
You didn't do that? I don't know. There's not much. Far back, I don't know much.
I just like looking at them, to be honest. This is all. And this is.
These roses. That's your cousin Sean.
My
Kind of-
cousin?
Well, he's a cousin to your mom,
No.
Dale's boy. That's Dale. No, it's Dave.
My mom was so little.
Yeah, and there's your mom in his sink in the camper.
Look at her little naked butt.
Yeah. There's your mom in the sink in the camper. We was on a fishing trip. That one should go in one of these others. I'll have to figure it out. And there's Blaine, that's the oldest one of David's boys.
Ooh, Grandpa.
Yeah, this big old raccoon got
That's
all.
huge.
He got all of our roasting ears. We didn't get any. And there was two of them. One of them got away.
Okay.
That's Teresa's first husband, Rod.
Oh.
That's some old scarecrow guy.
Oh, sweet. That's all you guys then, right?
Mm.
That's Grandma. Basically.
There's some calves we had.
Brad still doesn't believe that I know how to do anything with animals.
You can never get these pictures out because there's a piece of paper in between somewhere.
Grandpa, 1959 is your report card
No, that's
or
a
graduation.
graduation. That was a graduation program when I graduated, I guess. May 17th, yeah, 1959.
I graduated on May 16th.
May 16th.
Yeah.
See, these guys had to make speeches. Bonnie made a speech, Sam made a speech, Connie made a speech,
Hmm.
and I didn't have to make those speeches.
Cute. I don't think I have any of that stuff. Oh my god, this little baby is so cute.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
On the back?
Nothing.
On the back of the
Oh.
Dayton Studios, Color Springs. Oh, that was at a class reunion.
Hmm.
The class below me was those five. Curtis died now, so
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one left, so they always invited me to their class reunions.
Mm, that's nice.
And I bought this kid's turkeys. Go ahead, I was looking down at the turkeys.
Nice mustache, Grandpa. What are the champion? Dale Albert?
Yeah, Dale, he is, you know Aunt Karen May?
Mm-hmm.
That's her youngest sister's boys,
Okay.
her boy,
Is this in county?
Novotny. Yeah, that was at the county fair.
Mm-hmm.
Got a whole bunch of pictures of kids. Boy, I miss kids. Yeah, but look at that pretty picture.
That's a pretty one right there.
One of those, maybe it's this one, Mom has on her computer as a screen. So you can,
Yeah.
and there's
Car.
Grandma's car,
Ooh, pretty.
and there's a sunset, and there's a sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's a bull. Only good bull we had, and the lightning killed him.
I think, when was that picture taken?
I don't know. That's it. 2003.
I think I remember seeing pictures of him after he got hit by lightning.
Yeah. His skull's still laying up there.
Really?
His skull.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's that bunch of cows. What a pretty bunch of cows.
Mm-hmm.
That was worth that place we have on Peyton Highway.
Yeah, with the windmill.
Yeah, where the windmill is. Oh man,
Mhm.
that was the prettiest bunch of cows. Young cows. We had to sell them. That was in 2003. Yeah. That was after we, and that was Teresa's 4-H project cow.
Mm-hmm.
You probably remember her. She was out here by herself in the grill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She was real gentle. She liked to be scratched. Kept her till she died. She's almost 20 years old.
Is that long?
That's that is real long for cows. That is a real long time for cows. I ought to have that picture framed. And
You
blow
should.
that.
She looks like she's posing for you.
She was a gentle cow. Yeah, that's some of the cows. They was young, good cows. And the calves. Look at them pretty calves. Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, first one here.
Oh, there's all in there.
Mm-hmm. We did those already, I think. Did we?
No.
Oh, no, okay.
I laid the ones we did already down on the bench so I wouldn't
Okay.
get them mixed up.
Okay, you're so smart.
But I don't know who they are. Oh, now I know some of these. Oh, they're written on the back too. Yeah. There's my dad, and that was George, Mom's brother. And that was my dad's cousin, and that was his cousin, and that was his cousin, and that was his uncle. And some of these were George and Marie, some of these are their kids. Some of them are kids, that's Aunt Manna, that was my grandmother's sister. She's a grouch. And that was Uncle Carl, he was an old German bachelor guy. And that was Uncle Charles, that's Mom's youngest brother. And that was me and Bubby, Francis, Calvin and Ronnie and Irene and Kenny. I guess Jerry, there was Jerry there. Dickie and Patty weren't born yet.
Mm-hmm. Babies.
1949. Yeah, they was all around somewhere. Dickie and Patty were, but they weren't in the picture. It was taken March the 20th, 1949. Kenny, Jerry, Bubby, me, Rachel. Yeah, I got them all. I know them all. They're dead, that one's 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 dead. That one's dead. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us left. All of the adults are gone, and this older cousin is gone. They're all gone. He just died not too many years ago. He never did marry. He was a bachelor. Yeah. I was a pretty good looking kid there. Had a cap on with my ears sticking out. There's that dog killing that snake. There's my dad. That was his sister.
Elsie.
Yeah.
Who's Aunt Lee? Oh,
Yeah, see, that's dad's sister.
their mama had died. That's awesome.
There's probably what their mother looked like. That was her sister, Aunt Minna,
Mm.
when she was first got married.
So you don't have any pictures of your dad's mom?
Oh, there might be. I don't know. We'll have to see. Grandpa Fredericks. Oh, Grandpa Fredericks. He's a funny little guy. And that's my dad's aunt. That was his mother's sister. In later years. Huh, my dad wore glasses when he was a little kid. Well, he had a cock eye.
Are those little dead coyotes?
Yeah, that's in coyotes. They weren't dead. Well, some of them might have been.
Are they sleeping?
Some of them might have been dead, but see, some of
He's
them were
holding
alive.
that one,
Yeah,
yeah.
some of them were alive. They might have. Some of them might have died, or they were. But some of them were alive. They found them. They were starving or something.
Mm.
So some of them might have been dead already. My dad wore glasses. He's funny looking. He had a cock eye.
Okay.
One eye, when he's looking at you, one eye was looking over there.
I used to have a lazy eye, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know.
Well, they fixed it. They went and operated on it. Fixed it.
No, look at him. He's so cute. Were they close, do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. They were close in age, but yeah, they were pretty good friends too. He went down to see her quite a bit.
Mm.
That her husband, or her, no, Dad's sister's, the Aunt Minna.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband, that's him. He was kind of an old cowboy guy. He's a little older.
Mm-hmm.
He died when I was a little kid. He was an old cowboy guy. That was somewhere down in Oklahoma. Huh? Miss Merle Downing. Oh, that was probably sent. Oh, Harry. That was my granddad. That was my dad's father when he was young.
And what's his name?
He was Harry Albert Day.
Right? As you said? It's your dad's dad? Grandpa?
Yeah. There's some guys in that tent again.
So this is 19.
12.
Hmm.
Yeah. When after he went back to Oklahoma, he became a bootlegger.
Yes, my kind of guy.
That's my dad and his cousin. She was married to my mother's brother. Their mothers were sisters.
Is that their wedding photo?
No, it wasn't a wedding. They
Oh.
were just cousins. It might have been her wedding.
Okay, I was gonna say, it looks like she's wearing a really
Yeah,
pretty
that's
dress.
probably was her wedding. That's probably her wedding. That's my dad. He had hair. Yeah.
It was brown.
That was my dad's sister. She married a guy named Brown.
Mm.
Russell E. Brown.
Is that both of them?
She was still alive. He had died. I think I took that picture. Yeah.
And you probably told me already, but what happened to Elsie?
She just died from OD.
Oh, okay.
And he did too. Just died younger. A long time ago.
And what was her middle name?
I don't know.
It says Elsie M.
Marie.
Marie?
No? That was her sister's name. I don't know. I don't know. It could have been Marie. It could have been Marie because Marie was her aunt's name. And
That says her birthday.
no, that Marie was her mother's name. My grandmother's name was Marie. So that would probably been. She probably used her middle name. was both of my great grandmothers. Somebody call you?
Oh, she's the mom texting me.
That was both of my great grandmothers. Go, one is. No, wait a minute. Your grandmother, and Elsie Roberts standing. Grandma Day standing. Oh, well, that was my dad's grandmother's. That was his father's mother and his mother's mother. Yeah, that would have been his grandparents. I guess. I have to stop and think. Jimmy Brown. That was my cousin.
Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy Brown. That was his name. That was my dad.
What's your dad?
Yeah. See, his mother's sister always looked after him like he was her kid.
Mm-hmm.
That was up at the Petrified Forest. That's my cousin's Freddie. That was his sister's kids when they were little. Freddie died and all that. Wedding day, Harry and Marie Day. There's a picture of his mother. Robert and Elsie King. Harry Day, on the left, okay. Yeah, that was his mother right there. When they got married.
Hmm. Looks a little.
Yeah, she's a little bitty girl.
Mm-hmm.
Her sister was little, but she got heavier as when I knew her, but
Yeah.
they were little. There's Grandpa Fredericks. I get he's a little German-speaking guy because he grew up in Germany, and that's my dad and his sister. There's my grandpa and one of his wives. He had 4 wives. They just say wife. My dad wrote that, Harry Day and wife. He had 4 wives.
Okay.
Some of them beat the kids, some of them liked the kids.
Oh no.
I don't know where that's at.
It's like.
It's up here probably in a mountain somewhere. This was taken here. That's where my mother's cousins, and they were her second cousins.
Back to the cousins.
Yeah. And that was his mother and my grandmother were sisters, this guy. And these two were brothers and they were cousins to each other. Their mothers were sisters. And my grandmother was another sister.
Mm-hmm.
But their dad was a brother to his mother and brother to my mother. And their mother